The last time I was in this stadium was 2013. Like you, my now wife Elise and I paraded around in our caps and gowns, our hopes and dreams stuffed in our sleeves. With a degree in journalism, I was determined to write my own story. I meticulously mapped it out in my own head. And during my junior season, I rolled the dice, bypassing the NBA draft, convinced that one more year at Lehigh would fortify me even more for what was ahead. The next chapter of my story included taking the stage alongside Commissioner David Stern, may he rest in peace, and exchanging my Mountain Hawks cap for a Trailblazers cap. Thank you, President Helbley, for having me here today. And a deep thank you to our athletic director, Joe Sterrett, and Coach Reed for recruiting me and allowing me to be the best version of myself here. And a special thanks to my mom and dad for being here. I would have never made it without your love, support, and guidance. And I'm really grateful for Lehigh introducing me to my incomparable, beautiful, talented, smart wife, Dr. Elise McCollum. It's a joy to be back on campus, remembering the all-nighters I spent in Fairmont Library with Elise, partying on the Hill, can't forget that, and no more worries about parking tickets. I had a lot of parking tickets. And I can't forget my good friend Tony at the Goose. For those that are wondering, I can be caught there ordering a gumbo with no tomato and the cheddar cheese ruffles on the side. Seriously though, it's truly exhilarating to stand with our nation's next generation of leaders, and you should be very proud of all the things you have accomplished thus far. My post-Lehigh career reads like fiction turned fact, and as soccer coach and media phenom Ted Lasso once said, I believe in hope. I believe in belief. And you should too, because fantasies lure us into the future. Some easily within our grasp, others just out of reach. Did you know that according to a study done by Monster.com, 96% of workers are looking for a new job this year? That's right, 96%. That's tough competition for those set on a positive return on investment in a Lehigh degree, and we all know how expensive Lehigh was. ChatGPT tells us to calculate the ROI of a college education by comparing expected earnings against the cost of the degree. As AI and tech replace the many traditional jobs we see, recruits need to differentiate themselves by more than a degree. Beyond your majors, Lehigh equipped you with increasingly valuable soft skills like critical thinking, ethics, empathy, resilience, flexibility, and when needed, the ability to pivot. You're probably consumed with one conversation right now: get a job and make an impact. But the contours of the world and leadership have changed, and it's up to you all to keep up, leap ahead, or get left behind. Because of those contours, you'll face new mountains to climb and ravines to cross. They'll demand sacrifices and relentlessly hard work. They'll require a commitment much deeper than any you've already incurred. In reality, you may not even see the progress or feel the growth. My sophomore year in high school didn't go exactly as planned, but as heavyweight boxer Mike Tyson infamously said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Really. And that year, I got clobbered. Despite being promised a shooting guard position, a transfer came in and took my spot. I was demoted to the bench. It was devastating. It was devastating because I was promised a starting position, and it ate away at my mental, my physical, and my emotional state. And the result was me averaging an underwhelming 6 points per game, which is very bad for those that don't play sports. That wouldn't capture the attention, much less a scholarship, from anyone or any school. My brain and my body screamed quit, but we all know my mom didn't raise a quitter, and she encouraged me to keep going and do whatever was necessary to make sure those feelings didn't last into next season. Going into that summer, I committed to doing everything within my power to ensure I was ready to capitalize on whatever opportunities will present themselves that next season. At 5:30 a.m., my alarm clock shook my brother and me out of bed each morning. At 6 a.m. on the dot, we started workouts. 500 made shots in the morning, 500 made shots at night. It's 1,000 shots. My arm was tired. It was a lot of work. But in between, we ran the monument stairs to make sure, physically and mentally, we were ready for whatever would happen next. My dad rebounded for us on the court and in life, and I know his arms were tired to this day. The alarm was my own voice spewing out affirmations for my next season's goals. I said that I will average 20 points per game. I will get a Division I scholarship. I will train harder than I ever have before. And it will pay off. Sometimes you have to speak things into existence and then go get it. Game 1 of my junior season happened to be my first career start. I went on to break the school record for points in a game with 54, three-pointers with 8 made three-pointers, shattering my previous career high of 18 points. Oh, by the way, 3 days later, I received a letter from Lehigh University. I literally had no idea what conference Lehigh was in, and I needed a Google search to pinpoint where it was at on the map. Seriously. By season's end, I broke every single school scoring record they had there. I averaged 25 points per game, up from my 6, and I was very excited about the work that I put in to accomplish those goals. Without that big game, Lehigh may never have happened for me. But without the adversity and self-doubt, I wouldn't have dug deep enough or intentionally put in the work needed to succeed. No matter how talented you are, don't count on cruising through life on autopilot. Successful people are intentional people. How, you ask? All it takes is 5 simple but deliberate steps. Step number 1, evaluate your goal. Is it powerful enough to propel you forward? 2, tune out the noise and get rid of distractions. We all know what distractions are, and it starts with Instagram on your phone. 3, be patient, because success rarely happens overnight. 4, be willing to take risks commensurate with the reward. And finally, 5, even if you falter, don't stop until you've climbed the mountaintop. Your future won't be drawn by a straight line or even pace. For those that don't know, I'm in the wine business too, and in my experience, whether manufacturing fine wines, negotiating contracts, or playing hoops, the only consistent rhythm is start and stop. Speed up, then slow down. Timing is everything. I'm still learning, but timing is important at each stage of making a fine wine, from vineyards to bottling to distribution. As president of the NBA Players Association, I spent the last 2 years bargaining for the new CBA agreement. In negotiations, both sides need to know when to back off or move the deal forward to land on a mutually beneficial agreement. It's always a matter of determining the right balance. In an intense and fast-paced sport like basketball, effectively controlling the game's tempo typically earns critical advantage over the competition. And while the world whirls at breakneck speed, patience, flexibility, and strategic timing increases the likelihood of success. Being accepted at Lehigh meant I made it. I made it out of Canton, Ohio. Shout out to the 330. I made it out of my mother's house. However, I had no idea what boat shoes were. Seriously, I'd never seen them before. No clue what lacrosse was. Not the slightest clue what field hockey was about. And I had never seen so many North Face and Canada Goose jackets in my life. All that changed when I got here. Look around. No, really, look around. I'm waiting for you to look around. Thank you. This is an amazing school, a great athletic program, an enviable culture where people can learn both in the classroom and outside of it. By my sophomore year of college, my game was clicking. By then, I had become a national standout and was invited to compete for a spot on the Olympic basketball team. In my mind, I had earned a coveted spot. However, the coaches disagreed. I've never told this story before, but at tryouts, each of us was given awesome gear, including red, white, blue, stars and striped compression shorts with the team's logo on it. I'll never forget it. After being cut, that's right, CJ McCollum was cut. Even though I was the leading scorer in 3 of the 4 inter-squad scrimmages, Coach Reed was there, he can attest, I should have made this team. Still pisses me off. Those shorts motivated me. It's how we respond to and push through adversity that makes us the individuals we ultimately become. Most people walk away from their dreams just before they break through to success. It didn't seem like it back then, but being cut from USAB became my crucible. It made me hungry and determined beyond reason. By the postseason, we were in the NCAA tournament facing Duke. We all know how much I hate Duke. Then, as President Helbley alluded to, on March 16th, 2012, in the Greensboro Coliseum, Lehigh pulled off one of the greatest upsets in March Madness history. Y'all can clap it up for that one. With that single game, I cemented my future as a lottery pick and changed the trajectory of my life. But it took our entire team playing bigger to match an audacious goal. For those that don't know, I like Ted Lasso a lot, so we're gonna listen to Ted Lasso again here. In season 1 of the show, the team's talented, cocky footballer named Jamie Tart believed he was the best player and deserved special treatment. His coach, however, had another idea. He told him, I think you might be so sure that you're 1 in a million that you forget out there, you're only 1 of 11. As newly minted graduates, the world will give you a moment to revel in being a star. Savor the moment, then realize that your family, friends, can't forget the enemies, professors, librarians, coaches, chefs from campus dining, those who surrounded, nourished, lifted you up, and pushed you forward, made today possible. There's a smartphone app that you point to the sky and learn everything there is to know about a single star. It also demonstrates one important factor. No star stands alone. It's always surrounded by other stars and celestial bodies, and it can't shine on its own light. Like people, it takes a constellation of effort, support, and contributions to create a dazzling display in the endless expanse of space. Your march to an independent future begins today. Ask yourself, what can you accomplish if you don't get in your own way? Without focusing on what can't you do, what will you do? Hopes planted here will help bury the fears of the future ahead. You'll find in the next exciting chapter of your life, what gets measured matters. But don't limit how you measure success to titles, salaries, or advanced degrees. Factor in your personal growth and happiness as you overcome the inevitable challenges ahead. Calculate the impact you make on others and positive changes you personally bring to the world. Finally, as wonderful as they are, never let your memories of today or years here at Lehigh become bigger than your dreams. It's your time now. Make it count. Thank you. Go Mountain Hawks, and many blessings to you and your families.